1, 2, 1, 2, check. Sound check. 1, 2, leading Deen. 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 1, 2. We've got international media coverage happening here. You guys, inshallah, things will be around the world. Inshallah, we really appreciate you for being on here. We're going to go ahead and run into usually a crowd's favorite song called Intention. And the reason we like to do this song Intention is because as Muslims we know our actions and our deeds will be based on our intentions. So we like to start with the best of intentions.
Waking up in the morning, gotta make my prayer. Am I really gonna make it, when there's no one there? Taking trips to the masjid, even when it's dark. Am I going for the sake of Allah? Am I showing love? Gonna get me the knowledge, gonna study Islam. Am I gonna just build my ego, so they call me the man? Doesn't matter if the people respect me, when it's not for Allah. When I go anytime we meet, without one real dua. Doesn't matter if they say I'm a big shot, when I get no reward for my deeds. And I'm trying on the day of resurrection, for the folks that I wanted to please. But I know that Allah has the power to raise me up in their eyes if it need be. I should always make my intention, for my Lord Allah knows taking my intentions. Alright, am I doing it for Allah? When I'm looking deep down inside, do I have the right niyyah? Ya Allah, accept this niyyah, coming from your Muslims, trying to be believers. So on this day, I need your measure. No, we only did this strictly for your pleasure, your mercy, your pleasure, your tender forever. And ever, and reward us for those who listen. Either to the message, changing their condition, and know that everything up until the spirit ever written. I submit, it's my repentance. So if it's blessings, you stand in my way. I beg your will to the judgment day. So they can judge, I can look back and say, it was a lovely day, a lovely day, a lovely day, yes, a lovely day, a lovely day, yes, a lovely day. My attention, alright, cause I swear for Allah, when I'm looking deep down inside, do I have the right niyyah? For my intentions, alright, am I doing it for Allah? When I'm looking deep down inside, do I have the right niyyah? For my intentions, alright, am I doing it for Allah? When I'm looking deep down inside, do I have the right niyyah? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Jazakumullah khair. Allahu Akbar. My name is Naeem Mohammed.
اسمي Joshua Salam.
And together we're native Deen.
What does that mean in Arabic?
أصلي دين الفطرة.
Yeah, Deen al-Fitra.
دين الفطرة.
Yeah, native Deen.
native is فطرة.
Yeah, فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليه.
When did you start?
Individually, we were recording songs and raps for many years. But
Was that before Islam, or did you become Muslim?
All of us were born Muslim.
You were all born Muslim from Muslim families.
All born Muslim family, mother, father, the whole nine, and that was kind of is.
But did your parents? They converted, right?
Yeah, our
to
parents.
Islam. So you're first generation Muslim American.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's kind of where a lot of the inspiration from our music comes from.
From growing up Muslim.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and there was a need for this type of entertainment and inspiration for the youth and others. And so we got together, this group, and we wanted to take it seriously, put down nice, inspiring, inspirational lyrics, and really promote this message of Islam, calling people back to the Deen, making an invitation for those who aren't Muslim, and just something to kind of always be a nice reminder.
I mean, there are other people, Muslims, they're also doing probably songs and stuff. What made you go to religion? Why did you just choose religion that you start doing all these songs around?
Well, we
بالعربية إذا أمكنك يعني. لا ما شاء الله.
لما بدأنا why don't you go and let me get warmed up in Arabic. I'll just speak and then whatever. لما بدأنا كنا في الكامب مع كلنا وهو بدأ أن ينشد وكلنا يعني نحرك معه let me speak in English. I'm too nervous.
That's okay.
We all came together and we started writing on our own things to uplift the youth, things to help the youth, and things to better the youth in their Islamic morals. So we started first, little by little, and then we were doing this kind of professionally, singing at weddings, and then we said, okay, let's get together and let's do this professionally, and then we went further. And alhamdulillah, we joined up with Yusuf Islam, who was with Mountain of Light. And alhamdulillah, we're doing
So
more.
he produced your records? Because he used to be, he was a famous musician before Islam. And
He's producing our record right now.
right. Now, one of the things, you know that a lot of Muslims, not so much the majority of Muslims, but devout Muslims, they have a problem generally with music. And they have a problem, a lot of them will even have a problem with singing, right? So how have you all dealt with that? Because you've obviously, I'm going to assume, I haven't talked to you about this, but you've obviously had people come up to you and say, brother, you shouldn't be doing this. And is that true?
Yeah, what we chose to do is just take something that we felt was most acceptable to the masses of the Muslims, which was we avoided all
Stringed
string instruments, and we only use percussion.
Yeah.
On the CD, you'll find a lot of percussion instruments, but when we perform live, we take it even a step further because we know that people, even though it may only be percussion, what they see, they can become uncomfortable with.
Right.
So we've only used like the conga drums, and now we have sometimes somebody playing a regular drum kit on stage, and that's it.
Right.
And sometimes that's better though because the audience gets to see a show as opposed to just music playing in the background.
Right.
Yeah. And so we found that some of the people who felt that music should be avoided before, once they heard our lyrics and they saw what it was doing with the youth in their community, they actually came out and started supporting us.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
One of the things that's interesting now is in America, like recently, a couple days ago, there was an article, The Islamic Origins of Blues. Right? And yeah, and now, like musicologists in America, there's among them are people that are realizing the influence that West Africa had on what we call traditional music, like folk music, and what becomes the blues, what evolves into rockabilly, and then rock and roll. Like a lot of people here, one of the things Yusuf Islam told me was the Bo Diddley beat. Do you know that in rock? Huh?
No.
Yeah. Do you know what Bo Diddley was? He was one of the first rock and roll people. But the Bo Diddley beat, which is kind of like La ilaha illallah, is a very common West African beat that's sung with the. And another thing they do in American music is you have a lot of the, have you ever heard Van Morrison?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because he's one of the big white blues singers. But he'll do like la 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 la, and use the la, which was very common in a lot of blues. Using that. Where did that come from?
Nobody really thinks about that.
Nobody thinks about that because that's La ilaha illallah. Say it again.
I know on our genre, I guess in the hip hop community, Islam has always been a topic.
It's been in there from the beginning.
Either a catchphrase or it was.
Well, Malcolm too. Malcolm X. His influence on the hip hop generation was that the X. That all began when the hip hop first began. X was always in the background or foreground.
How do you influence Muslims when they hear the lyrics and they hear the words?
Well, I think first, music is universal. Definitely the strong morals and the messages are just universal that we talk about in our songs. We talk about having the best of intentions, choosing the best friends. Islam is for humanity, so this music should also be the same. If these are our inspirations and this is our goal, we're doing what we can to open up, our music to anyone who's looking for positive, inspirational, and really good moral music.
You have a website?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's it, yeah.
So
there you go.
maybe we could get a nativedeen.com www. They paid me for that little commercial.
Oh my God.
So anyway, it's been a pleasure seeing you again. We were actually in London together.
Yes.
And had some time behind the And I heard you were listening to the marriage collection.
Not that there's any problems, you know.
It's good to know the rules, though. Well, inshallah, may Allah give you all tawfiq and increase all of you and keep you on the straight path. And inshallah, make your music an influence for positive forces out there and make you the source of a lot of guidance and light. Inshallah. Jazakumullah khair.
Thanks for having me.
Next time I'll find you.